Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. You might have heard about this. I mean, this may be on your radar. This might not be on your radar. I don't know if it's talked about that much, but boy, we've got a ways to go till our federal election, and I think we can hardly wait. I think if somebody called an election tomorrow, we'd all be running to the polls because we'd be like, we can't take any more of this crap, right? And especially with Trump getting in and all the changes he's making, whether you like the changes or you don't like the changes, changes are happening. And I just love the way he's kind of wagging his finger at Trudeau, and Trudeau's all like, "Yes, sir. What can we do, sir? You can fix your shit, is what you can do." That's kind of what Trump is telling Trudeau, and it's about bloody time. But anyway, the federal election here in Canada is a long ways away. Like I said, it's to be held on the third Monday of October every 4 years. And so it is supposed to be October 20th. Okay. And here's the thing: the Liberals and the NDP say, well, Diwali falls on October 20th. So we should really move this back to October 27th. Let me tell you, I'm an Indian and I celebrate Diwali. It's a big deal for my family and stuff. I would still go vote on Diwali. I don't care if that was voting day. It wouldn't make a difference to me. Although, you might not get a big turnout from the Indian community. I don't know because they're so busy cooking. It's like Christmas for us, but that still doesn't matter. Everybody in my family would go out and vote, and we wouldn't. You don't need to postpone election day because of Diwali to virtue signal and to whatever. But that's not really why they're doing it, because everybody knows that if they push that date back, that will enable a lot of MPs to collect pensions that they would not otherwise get. But I saw a little bit of what I might call breaking news today. So let me show you what I saw on Twitter. This is from Bob Mackin. If you don't know who he is a journalist with the Breaker News. He's like a great follow on X, and I just sort of recently heard of him. But anyway, here is what he reposted. MPs agree to drop proposed change to next fixed election date that would have guaranteed pensions for two-term Liberal and NDP MPs. So here it is written. They've actually changed it in the language here. You can see this for yourself. Subsequent to subsection, each general election must be held on the third Monday of October in the fourth calendar year following polling day for the last general election. However, if Monday, October 20th, 2025 would be the day fixed for voting at a general election under this subsection, that general election must instead be held on Monday, October 27th, 2025. You dirty little buggers. But to explain this to you a little bit better, just in case this is something that wasn't on your radar before, I'm going to play you a clip from MP Michael Cooper. His riding is St. Albert, Edmonton.
Just before the House of Commons rose for December, one of the last orders of business for Justin Trudeau's corrupt government was to ram through legislation at second reading stage to pad the pockets of soon-to-be defeated Liberal MPs to the tune of tens of millions of dollars. Justin Trudeau dishonestly disguised this legislation as an elections bill, when the real purpose of the bill is to secure the pensions of soon-to-be defeated Liberal MPs. Here's how. Buried within this so-called elections bill is a clause that pushes back the date by 1 week in which Justin Trudeau must call the next federal election. Now, what exactly does that have to do with securing the pensions of soon-to-be defeated Liberal MPs? Well, very simply, as it stands now, if the date of the next election is not changed, then Liberal MPs elected in 2019, many of whom face almost certain electoral defeat, won't qualify for their pension. By pushing the date of the next federal election back by 1 week, all of a sudden, these soon-to-be defeated Liberal MPs will qualify for their pension. Talk about cynical, talk about corrupt, talk about ripping off the taxpayer. This bill ought to be called the Loser Liberal Pension Protection Act, because that's exactly what it is.
Come on, it seems that way, doesn't it? Like, don't try to play one over on us. You already gouge us in every other place with our taxes, and now you're doing this. I mean, it's not fair. But I don't know. I'll believe it when I see it, right? Okay, so here's the more of the article. This is Blacklock which is hard to say, Black Locks reporter minding Ottawa's business. So here's a little bit more. Here's the post that I showed you earlier, and here's the headline: Pension grab to be dropped. I mean, can you believe it? I don't know. Pension grab to be dropped. MPs have agreed to drop a proposed change to the next fixed election date that would have guaranteed pensions for Liberal and New Democrat two-termers. Members of the House Affairs Committee yesterday said they would delete the clause in the elections bill. That's the bill that I just showed you earlier. Okay, so if you want more content, you got to register and log into that website. But there you go. That's the headline. So, but just to sort of hammer home sort of how underhanded this is, I'm going to play another clip. This is from Franco Terrazzano of the Canadian Taxpayers Federation.
Moving the election by just 1 week will mean up to 80 MPs will receive a pension they shouldn't. Those pensions will total up to $120 million. But even if the final cost to taxpayers is half of that, say $60 million, think of the money you're taking out of people's pockets and think about how that conversation is going to go the next time you're knocking on your voters' doors. $60 million is a year's worth of groceries for 3,000 families. Are you going to look your voters in the eye and tell them pensions for politicians are more important than food for families? $60 million is 4,000 families' income tax bills. Are you going to look your voters in the eye and tell them pensions for politicians are more important than cutting taxes for their entire neighborhood? If you're not willing to have that conversation, you shouldn't be willing to give dozens of extra politicians a pension. If you do change the date of an election to give dozens of politicians a pension, think of what you're doing. You're taking more money out of the pockets of your voters. You're taking more money out of the pockets of your local businesses. You're taking more money out of the pockets of the plumbers, paramedics, pilots, and police officers in your communities, and you're giving their money to highly paid politicians in Ottawa who shouldn't qualify for that pension. Politicians whose yearly salary is already between $200,000 and $300,000. Politicians who take a pay raise every single year. Politicians who already get a $100,000 severance and a $15,000 transition allowance. I know, as I'm sure you do too, that there are countless Canadians who are losing sleep worried about the cost of groceries, worried about the rising pile of bills they need to pay, worried about coming up short for Christmas. But I bet there isn't a single Canadian losing a single second of sleep worried that a politician in Ottawa may not get a lifetime taxpayer-funded pension. Politicians should use their six-figure salaries, which is about triple that of the average salary of the average Canadian worker, to save for their retirements. Politicians should not try to move a scheduled election so more of them can collect a taxpayer-funded pension for the rest of their lives.
No kidding. Isn't that just obvious? Isn't that just what someone who has a bit of integrity would say? I would just be so embarrassed if I did something like that. I know people are very sort of self-absorbed and they get what they want and they want the money that's owed to them. That I understand. And I think if you can get more money, you might, okay, I kind of get the motivation, but it's just too sick for me. It's just not the way my brain works. It's just not the way I operate. I was not brought up like that. That's why I no longer work at Global News, right? I just couldn't collect that paycheck anymore. Well, they fired me before I had the chance, but before I got fired, I was looking for a job, like a normal office job or something, because I was going crazy there during COVID because of all the bullshit, that I was just looking for any job to get out of there, to take half the money. Not that I wanted to make half the money, but I didn't want that dirty money by them. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. Okay, more about dirty money here. Okay, Jagmeet Singh, he becomes pension eligible February 25th. And I don't know how this all goes, but couldn't we call an election? Call a snap election. Call it on February 20th. Just call it. Call the damn thing. Call it now. I don't think we can take much more of this. I certainly cannot wait until October. And I know there's all the cynical people out there. I partially agree that I'm not sure if there are elections and there are only selections. I'm not sure who's in on it. There are a lot of people that think this is just two wings of the same bird type of thing. And I mean, I can see that. I don't know. I don't have any firsthand knowledge to know any different. I just know who I like and who I don't like. I just know what I like when I hear someone talk and what I don't like. I just know what I like when I see how someone is treated and what I don't like. That's really all I can go on. And all I can go on is sort of how my life is now and how it should be. And same with a lot of people out there. I was grocery shopping yesterday and this woman came up to me to ask me to buy her basket of groceries for her. I'm like, I have 2 kids, man. I cannot buy your groceries. But it was the first time in my life I had somebody ask me to help them buy their groceries. I didn't feel too sorry for her because she didn't have like actual food in there. She had some clothes and very expensive looking vitamins. I'm like, I ain't buying this shit for you. No, go get a job. I have a job, but that sounds awful, doesn't it? Well, I don't know if that sounds awful. It's like, I work. I cannot buy groceries for you. I just said no, but I've never had that happen before. And when I was in the grocery store, there was the Christmas music was on, but there was no sort of happy, joy feeling. Everybody was like, oh, kind of miserable, stressed out, and on edge. Thank you, Trudeau. Yeah, thank you, Trudeau. We owe that all to you and your gang. If these MPs agree to drop this change, fantastic. I don't even believe it. There must be a catch. I don't know. We'll see as the days roll on and the news develops, and we'll see if this is actually a real thing that actually happens. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you enjoy my content at all. Sometimes I'm random. I'll try to get a little more focused. Also, I'm on Rumble. Please subscribe to me over there. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm sure you'd like to see an election right now. Do you believe that these MPs are actually like, okay, we won't change the date? I can't see it, but we're hearing reports that this is true. Thank you so much for watching this video. We'll catch you soon.